All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom, W5KUB, and this show is about ham radio, shortwave listening, electronics, and maybe some other things. We'll see tonight. Got a good show for you tonight. We actually have a live guest. No more dead guests. We got a live guest with us tonight, and he's with us tonight. We've got K8JH, Jim Hessler with us. We're going to talk about some 6-meter operation, expedition type work. Got a lot of other things going. First, hey, a couple announcements. If you're out there listening on international shortwave, you're listening on 7490 kilohertz. And we welcome you to the show as a shortwave listener. Many of us got started many years ago listening to shortwave, and we're glad you're with us. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com, tom@w5kub.com. Let us know where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station. BCQ is a world famous station up on the border of Maine and Canada. Yeah, right there, right on the border up there. I think it snows about 11 months out of the year up there. Man. Hey, got a couple of neat things tonight. I told you we're going to be talking with Jim. I've got that project for the show. We started using a nanny cam or a IP cam to make a remote base station for VHF and put it remotely. Got a little change going on with that. Had a little problem. So we're going to change the project just a little bit, but it's even better than it was before. Glenn's going to tell us about Day in the Park coming up down in Mississippi here pretty soon. Huntsville Ham Fest, we'll talk a little about that in a little while. It's coming up about a week and a half. And here's a teaser for you guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, man. Did you know a RF signal goes down coax better one direction than it does the other? There's an in and an out on a piece of coax. You might not have known that, but I got the backup proof here to show it. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're gonna see how many of you guys knew that. Hey, I want to say hello to Randy out there, KN6BZG out in Riverside, California, and we got Colin down in where's he down at? He down here, down under Australia. And let's see who else we have in here. A lot of the regulars in here. Mark P, he's always in here. And let's see, Dwayne's in here. Dwayne's always in here. Welcome, guys. We appreciate you being with us tonight. All right, Glenn, come in here, Glenn, and tell us what's going on in your world, man.
Oh, same stuff, different day, man. Getting ready. I was saying in the pre-show, there is the Huntsville Forum that I'm going to be giving. And there's only one small problem. It's only 5 slides at this point.
Well, that's only going to last about 3 minutes.
Right. Yep. So this is where the forum is. I've got to get it written and finished up. I've got week and a half to get it done, and working on the new book at the same time. Finally got all of the projects built for the new book. So it's coming together. The writing starts on that here, like interleaving with this. So, and the deadline on that is September 30th. So it's going to be crazy for the next 90 or 60 days.
Well, you better get with it.
Yep. Well, trying to.
All right.
You can see the help that I've got laying on everything. So,
well, yeah, I think they're troublemakers sometimes too.
Yeah, everything will be on the floor by the end of the night.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of forums there, it's great you're giving that forum here. I was asked by Bill if I would do part of the Pico Balloon Forum last year at Dayton, and we had a big group. We had we probably had 75 people in there. I think I had about 15 minutes, but I went 40.
Yeah, that's the way it normally goes.
I went 40 minutes, but the other speakers didn't really show up, so I did feel the time frame here, but it was nice. All right.
Forums are fun.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I see James in here. James, how you doing tonight? Let's see. James, are you there? Are you talking to me?
Oh, me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Hey,
you.
there you go. How you
Call
doing
me
here
Jim.
tonight?
Call me
Oh,
Jim.
did it call you Jim? Okay,
I
Jim.
thought you meant somebody else.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we have a James on here, but
Yeah.
call you Jim, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay,
please.
we'll do that. So now, where are you? Where are you? You're up in Minnesota.
No, I'm from Michigan, a little town called Rockford. It's near Grand Rapids.
Okay. All right. Very good. Hey, look at here. Colin down here in Australia says he has you confirmed on 10-meter FT8.
I'm on a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was what is it? Last year, 9/18/2022. You made
Wow.
contact down there. Yeah. All right.
I'm impressed.
All right. Well, hey, let me just tell everybody what we're going through here, guys. We're on our Talk Studio app tonight. Glenn hates it. It used to be called Melon app. Glenn hates it, but we renamed it. It's called Talk Studio. And every Tuesday, I boot up everything. We've got about 4 or 5 computers here, all networked, and a gazillion wires to hook them all together. And every Tuesday, about 2 o'clock, we boot everything up. Well, today, guess what? It didn't boot up. And I worked on about 2 to 3 hours and decided I've got to, start getting a backup together. So we're running the Talk Studio app tonight. So if I press the wrong button, or we bring the wrong person in, or I mute somebody, I'm sorry if I do that. So I don't know what I'm going to find, but I was pulling my hair out today and under a lot of stress to try to get the show on the road, Glenn. And I was telling Glenn, and some of you guys may have heard me in the chat room, guys. I'm really considering whether or not how long I can go on with the show. Now, we've been on now for 10 years. I think that's a great milestone, 10 years. It'll actually be 10 years in February. And we've had some boring shows, and we had some exciting shows. We had some fun shows. But it takes a lot of work, and I have trouble finding help here. I posted in our chat room, in our Facebook group, anybody that's got an interesting topic that would like to come on here and help us talk about ham radio, please contact me. And Jim there did, and he's got a great story tonight. And so this is the kind of things I need help with. I need help with content for the show, or you're going to get a boring show. So Jim, let's just go straight to you, and let's find out what you're doing. You call it an expedition, right?
Well, if you're all the guys that are on, a lot of people are on VHF, are interested in, some of them are interested in getting all the states or getting DXCC on VHF, 6 meters or 2 meters or the others. And so sometimes they're even want to collect counties. But many people are aware that there is a geographic division out there called grid squares. And there's a system that marks off the entire world into grid squares. And the grids are 1 degree latitude by 2 degrees longitude. So they're all basically rectangles. And so it's of interest to ham, especially on VHF, to see how many of these grid squares they can work. It's kind of like working counties. And there are about 488 of these grids that touch the lower 48, the United States. So, as you might suspect, some grids have more population in them than others do. And so, kind of like states. So some of the states are easier to get that are more populated, and then some of the grids are harder to get that where not too many hams live. So, in the interest of helping the hobby and help fellows get these grids worked, many of us go out and become what we call rovers. and a rover takes a ham station and takes it to the sites that are needed, the grids that are more rare, and sort of puts that grid on the air. Might be like you would in a de-expedition to a rare country. So in this case, though, we're just talking about rare grids. And so some of the grids are not very many hams. Could be some of them as low as half a dozen hams, and it could be that none of them are active, or especially not active on VHF. So I've taken upon myself to put several grids on the air. And so now actually I've done 26 of these as I add them up. Last year I was in Montana and did 2 grids out there. And this year I decided to hit a couple in Minnesota that are closer to me, but actually needed by fellows who are trying to work all these 488 grids. So we call it a grid expedition. And I just went by myself. My wife didn't want to go. And she said, "You're on your own." So she let me go, and I was gone for 2 weeks alone, kind of in the wilderness. And
Wow.
so I have a few pictures I'd like to share with that, Tom.
Well, hey, before you share, let me ask the question. Do you do any satellite?
I haven't yet, but I know there's a lot of interest in satellite people working grids as well.
Yeah,
I pretty much just been on 6 meters.
Yeah, the reason I mentioned it, my friend here in Memphis, Rick, WA4 NVZ, is a big satellite guy, and he was number 3 in the country to work all grids. The 480 something you're talking about, he did that on satellite, and I think now there's up to about maybe 40 or 50 people that have done that. But he was number 3, and I think he came up with the Grid Master Award for satellite, and I think AMSAT took that over.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, he does the same thing, but I've never done it, but it may be something I want to do in the future. So hey, let's look at some pictures. I'll bring your pictures up here, and you can cycle through them and talk about them. So
all right.
You should be seeing that, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about satellite is you make your own propagation.
Yeah.
And in 6 meters, you don't have that advantage. So so this is my. Are you seeing just the one picture there? Okay. So I just cycle through by clicking on the top.
Yeah. I think just.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing the screen you're seeing, and if you can
all
make
right.
this picture cycle through, we'll see them all.
Well, this is my basic rig. It's my truck and a small little camper, and so that's how I function. This way, I have my ham shack comes right along with me, and so you do some research and you figure out what grids are needed and which ones you can go to. And I've learned that you need to have figure on 4 to 5 days at each grid, because the propagation is uncertain enough that you don't want to get there and miss out on propagation. So you might sit there for a day or two before conditions improve. So you need to have enough time to increase your odds of having 1 or 2 good propagation days. Okay, we seeing that all right?
Oh yeah, we're seeing.
All right, this is my route from this past July. So I plan to go into northern Minnesota there, and you can see I came from Michigan and went all across the straits, and started out at EN 28. That's the label for that one, and it's on the rarer side for hams these days. So I spent about 5 days there, and then I had to drive south to kind of get north again. And get back up into EN 48, which is somewhat rarer yet. It's up in the boundary waters of between Minnesota and Canada, and very few people up in there. And most of that grid, like 90% of that grid, is in Canada, and there just aren't a lot of people living in that area. So, but it's accessible for me. I don't know if you can see on the map, but it was about 3,000 mile trip for me Again, it's about 5 days in each session. This is just a stop I made along the way up the headwaters of the Mississippi. Spent the night there, not too much to show. But a lot of the road, you get up in northern Minnesota, and this is what you see going down the road. I remember this particular stretch of road. I drove for an hour and only met a couple of other cars, and there were no cars that I saw going my same direction. So that was, you just get real remote, underpopulated areas that are kind of swampy usually, and just a lot of wilderness. So this is a lot of what you see. Here I am already situated at the first site. Now this particular site, this is the EN28 site, the one in northwestern Minnesota. It was actually at a city park. You can see me backed in there. This is before I had anything set up. But on the back of the trailer, can you see this pointer, Tom?
I'm not sure. I see the back of the trailer.
No, you don't. You don't see my cursor.
I see the front. I see the front of the trailer.
You don't see my cursor.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the back of the. That's the back.
There it is.
I think we do see it. Yeah.
Here. Well, anyway, that's the back. Slower. That's the back. That's the back of the trailer before the setup. But so this is what it looks like being set up. So I don't know if I had that fully extended, but that's about a 25-foot fiberglass mast, and you can see the rotor rigged up there at the bottom. So I rotate the entire mast and have the guy wires there. So that's the general gist of what the setup looks like when it's completed. And this is in the nicer campground. So I had actually water and electricity here. So this was like luxurious for me.
Oh yeah.
You can see my little grill set up there over my cooking and all of that. So, like I said, it was by myself. I lost 3 pounds on this trip cooking for myself. So,
I can tell you're roughing it there.
Yeah, this is a nice park with a mowed lawn and, had like public bathrooms and all of that. So, what I have here is just a shot down the boom of the antenna I use. This is a 4-element beam, of course. There's you see 5 elements there, but one is a loop. So this is a 4-element from Innovative Antennas out of England, and it comes apart real easily. And you can see that I've got some tape marking on the elements. And you can see I've got the thumb drive, kind of the thumb powered hose clamps. And so I can just take it apart quickly, and then I put it back together because the tape shows the length that I'm supposed to have that element be. And then I just quickly tighten it up with my finger. So I don't need any tools or anything to like put my antenna together. So anyway, this is the detail of that antenna on the picnic table there. So I've been very happy with this 4-element beam. I noticed the improvement over a 3-element just because that extra element and the longer boom and so forth. I think I get 2 or 3 more dB, which is helpful on almost every band. And Tom, if you have any questions, I know you'll just jump in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a close-up of sort of the mechanical part on the rear of the trailer. The trailer happens to have a receiver for like a luggage rack or something, just like you'd have in the back of a pickup to pull the trailer. This has a receiver on the back. You can plug in a bike rack or something like that. Well, I use it for this device, which I also purchased from same place I got the mast. And it's a tilt over assembly. And I rigged up my rotator so it'll slide in there. Then I slide the mast, of course, into the rotor. So then I can work on this and set it all up and put the antenna together while it's on the ground. And then you can see kind of an end view here with it tilted over. and it's got it just about ready. I've got the guy ropes on there, and I've got a little support bracket there in the middle in this area that sort of props things up so the antenna isn't on the ground, bending the elements. And so I'm right in the position here now to where I can walk that up. So it's being held there, and it's light enough that I can easily walk that up, and that tilt mount at the trailer, and then just tilts up as I, walk towards the trailer.
So we have a question in the
Yeah.
chat room. Do you work what modes? Is it FM or sideband?
This was an FT8 trip.
Oh, okay, FT8.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I could have worked other bands, but I really didn't have anybody really wanting that.
Yeah.
I worked some other digital modes, but it's pretty much 100% digital on this trip.
Okay.
I obviously could work phone or more or CW, but just didn't happen to come up. So, all right. So there you can see that, and this is another looking back the other way. The antenna is kind of there, held off the ground by a few inches by this support piece that I carry with me.
Yeah.
You can see the guy ropes. I've got everything there kind of ready to tip up in the air. And so this is manageable with about 25 feet of telescoping mast here. So this is set up inside the camper with all my gear there. Obviously the laptop. I was using the K3S transceiver, and you can see the little amplifier above that. That's the Elecraft KPA 500. Obviously the Yaesu rotor control box, and then I've got an iPad there to kind of just check the internet and watch the spots and see what propagation is doing. So
your friend Tom K8TB is in the chat room. He's watching, so you have to be careful what you're saying now.
Yeah, I know it. He's going to text me if I make a mistake. I think
right. That's right.
Yeah, they keep me honest. And Tom's a longtime friend. In fact, I had to call him when I was here because I had a question about some ham walked up to me out of the blue here, pulled up and stopped in front of the car here, and just walked up. And he asked me if I was a ham. I said, yeah. He said, could you help me with my ham radio license? I didn't know the guy from Adam. And he says, my license expired. So I had to call Tom because Tom's an expert on licensing. He's a VE and everything. So I had to call Tom and assist a guy on my DXpedition here with his license renewal. So anyway, when you get busy, then your screen looks like this. If you've done any FT8, it's like solid red right away if you're from a place where they need you. So I got pretty busy. I was there during the 4th of July, so I had my flag out. And another look at the setup. I'm always kind of curious if people are going to ask questions. If you're in a park like this and people are wondering what the antenna is, sometimes they think it's like to get internet. And so sometimes I can joke around and say, no, I'm just a weather chaser or something like that. But very few questions this time. So anyhow, you can see it's a lovely day and really had a good time. But on those dead days, you make sure you bring some books with you so you've got something to read. But I did stay here 5 days, and I had about half the time was pretty good conditions. So I'm in about 350 contacts from this site. This is the EN 28 site. So this is just a screenshot of people showing me up here, getting spotted and whatnot. So that was just kind of fun to see that. And being further north and further west, I had different feeling. The propagation feels different. You are a little bit closer to the west than I normally am in Michigan, and so it's a little bit easier to reach other areas that we don't normally reach in one hop. So anyway, we were pretty busy. So I finished up on EN 28. Now we're headed to the next grid. and you can see the roads look about the same. The trees look a little different, but there's a lot of green space and not a lot of towns. And you don't want to drive by too many gas stations, especially if you're burning as much fuel as I do. You stay full and you have extra gas with you.
Yeah.
So on the way up there, if any people are familiar with the old Gunflint Trail, but this is where I ended up being to put the next grid, that EN48, on the air. So this we go through a Grand Marais, Minnesota, kind of the where you disembark from. And so they call it the old Gunflint Trail. It's along a very scenic byway, but quite remote. And I didn't see a gas station from town all the way to my campsite, an hour's drive in one direction. Never saw another gas station. So anyhow, you just keep going. The road kind of gets smaller and smaller. So here I come across this sign, minimum maintenance road, travel at your own risk. So got off. I did have pavement for most of it, but then you get off onto something like this. So you I wonder what this is going to be like. And then it gets smaller and smaller again. So now I'm down to a 2-track, and there are very few signs. But suddenly I found this one. I managed to get a selfie here. Iron Lake Campground. So it's just in the Superior National Forest. And it's a campground with only seven sites, and there were only 2 of us up there, with myself and one other couple was camping up there. So this is me nestled in the forest up there. I'm kind of up on a little hilltop, you can see, and all set up there with the antenna. No electricity or water or sewer for that matter. And so I was completely self-contained. I knew I was going to have to have a generator. So I brought that along, and then had to haul in about 15 gallons of gas just to make sure I'd have enough gasoline, because it'd be a 2-hour trip to get gasoline. This is very remote here. I'm about 2 miles from the Canadian border. But this is the view looking the other way from my campsite. So you're a little bit remote, but you think, wow, look at my backyard. So I could walk down a little path there and walk right down to the lake. So quite enjoyable being there. And you got to watch out for these guys. These signs are all over the place. So I was kind of hoping to maybe see a bear. I didn't. And the other thing they were talking about was moose, and I didn't see either one. So I was kind of ready and sort of mindful of it, but I never did get lucky enough to see any exciting wildlife. Just a couple shots amongst the green vegetation. There's some pretty flowers. Another shot from the back of the setup. Again, tilted up from looking at the back. It's from the right. Everything tilts over to the right. And while I've got it tilted up, I secure it vertically, and then I tighten up the guys, of course. So that's where I sat for about 5 days. Very, very pleasant, very lonely. I think I went except for the other 2 campers who were there, I never saw another person for 5 days. So it's a good thing I'm introverted, I guess, because I don't need that many people around.
Yeah.
Again, another shot here. If you notice the donuts in the back corner there, the donut holes, treated myself to that. And lots of coffee, but setup worked very, very well for me. I was very, very pleased with it. One of the things I've learned long ago is to always bring backups of everything. And most things I did. So I have a backup transceiver I had with me, and I had a backup generator, a backup antenna. I did not have a backup rotator. but I don't need the rotator. I can go out and turn it manually. So in a sense, my backup is the Armstrong. But
Right.
if you're going to do one of these things and you're an hour from town, you've got to be prepared for failures if you're going to be out in some of these remote locations.
Now I know you're roughing it there, but did your camper have any type of air conditioning, or I guess
Yeah,
it's cool up there?
I do have air and heat, so
Mhm.
the camper itself is relatively luxurious. I have a like water supply and holding tanks, and I have a propane stove, and I have a refrigerator and a microwave. So that part of it wasn't too bad, but I never needed to run the heat or the air conditioning. It was just kind of really nice up there. Everybody else is sweltering, and I'm enjoying like 75 degrees, and at night about 55. So just about ideal. Not too much suffering that way. Now, mosquitoes are also thriving. That's one of the things you got to be prepared for. It gets close to dusk and they really come out. So, but the mosquito repellent works, and so I just used that and tried not to be outside much. Certainly after dark. And I also had bear repellent with me just in case. Another shot here, a little bit cloudier day. I got these signs, so I put them on my picture so I can remember where I was when I took the picture. So this little camper has a queen bed in it, so it's relatively comfortable to sleep in as well. And so this I had a little here, this little black device on the side above the door. That's part of a cell phone booster system that I brought along, and I did need that. There actually was cell phone coverage. I think it came out of Canada, but I only had 1 weak little bar on my phone. So this little booster gave me 2 to 3 bars, which was enough to operate on FT8 and have my clocks right. And I could also communicate back home to some degree. Limited, but I could text. So just a couple more shots. This was, the backbone of my power here. It's my little Honda generator. It's a 2200 watt generator. And I did have quiet hours. Generators had to be off after 10 p.m. at night. Couldn't be on until 8, but that was okay. At 6 meters, that's usually when the band shuts down anyway. So that wasn't a problem. But I did have a generator failure. I was running a different generator, a Yamaha, and that started kicking out on me, and I didn't know why. So I put that in the truck and got this one out. So it was another case where you really need to have. You're going to be this far and this remote. You better have backups. And it served me well. So this generator will run over 5 hours on 1.1 gallons of gas. So that goes a long time. So it's almost like I only have to fill it twice all day long. If I start out full, I really only have to fill it maybe once more. So it's very, very efficient on gas. I only used half the gas I brought with me. So again, this is the view from the back side. I just had to spin around and look at this whenever I looked. I kept looking in the distance, hoping I'd see a moose or something. But it didn't. It didn't happen. So one last shot here of the setup. Nice sunny day, sitting in the shade. If the band was dead, I went and sat in the shade and read my book. Beautiful rocky area, kind of a rock-filled lake, rocky shore. Very much northern Canada. So this is enjoy this. Remember this trip a long time to come. So here's just my last slide. This shows it's a little bit fuzzy, but it gives you an idea. These are all the grids that I actually worked between the two grids, between EN28 and EN48. So in total, it's about 780 contacts. So I was quite pleased. Kind of concentrated in the east there, but I guess that's where propagation was. But I've had a few things, a few times open up to the west. So you can see I've got a radius there out to the west. And I believe I worked every state except Nebraska and Hawaii and Alaska. I worked all the other, I worked 47 of the lower 48. And you can see I've got a couple down there in the Caribbean as well that we worked on 6 meters. So I was running, again, the 4-element beam, and then I was running about 400 or 500 watts with the amplifier was my my station. So it was a very, very successful trip. In fact, I just got back from another one. I was out in north of Maine in FN 57. So that's been historically another kind of needed grid out here. But in 3 days, the band never opened up. So it was a complete failure, in my opinion. So that's the kind of thing you got to be ready for on VHF. You have to plan to be there long enough to catch the good propagation days. So that's kind of my story, Tom.
Well, have you got a
too much
picture?
time.
Have you got a picture of your communications or your ham van that you can show us?
Let me see. I didn't
probably
use that on this trip.
I have one here, but if you've got it, let's see if you can show it. I think it's an outstanding ham van.
You see that one?
No. I think you're going to have to select on your share. You'll probably have to select that file or that folder.
I will do that.
Well, if you can't get it here, I think I have it loaded here, and I can try. I'm just like you. I've done very little sharing with this new program here.
Stop
Let's
sharing.
see.
Window. You got any pictures yet?
Yeah, there they are. We need to make them big.
Yeah, we got the thumbnails.
You got anything now?
No, because I think that opened up in a new window, and you're going to have to select that window from your share. So go to your share and look again for that picture that you just opened.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, it's trying to open for me. And we'll give it another try.
There it is.
Now this is the ham van parked right next to my little trailer.
Yeah.
Almost had them touching, but this is in northern Michigan on the Keweenaw Peninsula and EN 67, which is another rare grid. And so that's looking out on Lake Superior there. It's a township park, about 700 feet above the water. So it's ideal for VHF. So anyway, that's the ham van in service. We've been a Dayton the last, I think, 3 years as an exhibitor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other roving option, but I can't sleep in it. So I opt for the trailer. I'd love to have the ham van, but I'd almost have to tow the trailer with the ham van. So
well, you know that I guess that's a hydraulic pole.
It is, yeah.
It looks like it probably takes some space inside the truck.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 10 inches in diameter,
Oh wow.
and then it weighs probably 350, 400 pounds. And then there's the 7-foot sections, 7 or 8 foot sections there that extend out.
Yeah.
And
Now,
it goes up with air pressure, hydraulic air pressure.
Okay. Will it go higher than that?
That might not have been fully extended. It'll go 50 feet.
Oh.
So that one, it doesn't look like it's quite all the way up.
Yeah, you got a lot of slack there in the cable going up. It might go a little higher.
And sometimes if it's a little bit windy, and it might have been windy, we don't have it all the way up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you're already 700 feet above the water, a few more feet doesn't really matter too much.
Right, right.
So that was a great trip too. We've done that grid 3 or 4 times. So we just had a lot of fun. Then I stayed there in the camper and stayed all night. So actually, my friend Tom went with me on this one.
Yeah.
And,
so do you pull that camper with the ham van?
no, we don't. I have another pickup. Well, you saw the pickup. I pulled with that. So we had both rigs. We had the ham van and the camper and pickup rig there both. Yeah. But I had not developed the telescoping mast for the trailer yet. And so, but Tom went along with me on that one. So I had another driver, you see.
Oh yeah.
If I'm by myself, I have limited options.
Well, that's first class. It's really nice.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with that ham van too. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been interesting to hear about all the grids. There are actually grids out there where nobody lives in that area. It's just desolate. I mean, nobody's there.
I'm starting to plan something for next year, and what's jumping out at me is a couple of grids in Nevada. Now that'll be a little bit bigger hike to get out there, but we'll see what happens as time unfolds, which grids emerge as being needed the most. So.
Well, Glenn, you got any questions?
No, not me. What actually I do have one. I know the answer, but I've forgotten it. What is the size of a grid square?
It's 1 degree latitude by 2 degrees longitude.
Okay, how does that work out in miles?
That's a 4-digit. Is that a 4-digit or no? Is that a 6-digit?
That'd be a 4.
No, each grid. Yeah, the 6 digits. Those are subdivisions of
right. Well, in satellite work, a 6 digits about 2 miles square, 2 by 3, something like that. So,
I think a grid is around 75 miles tall and 100 or 150 miles wide.
Yeah, Tom's saying it's 40 by 60 or so.
Yeah,
well, and I think the size varies depending on where in the
the size and shape varies depending on where you are on the globe. Yeah. Because they get more and more pointed as you get north.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Tom! Never admit that you could be wrong.
I know Tom too well.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Next time you have a big event like that, get us some video and come back and get on the show and let us see how much fun you have there. Now you
have to bring a cameraman with me.
Well, you have to, and that's a problem. Getting a cameraman. We don't even have a cameraman here. It's even difficult for me to work on a project because I don't have anybody to aim the camera.
Yeah.
But now in addition to that, you got to have food, man. We want to see the steaks and the cookouts and all that kind of stuff out there on the grill too.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
I did some of that, but it wasn't very fancy. But I like I said, I lost 3 pounds in 2 weeks.
All right. Well, hey, Jim, thanks so much for sharing that with us tonight. You're welcome to stick around with us the rest of the show. We got, little odds and ends of things I'm going to talk about, and you're welcome to stay here with us, and you and
All right.
in our
Thank
chat
you.
room people. If you want to comment, everybody comment, guys, because I know there's going to be some controversy when I talk about coax is directional, and you need to put your RF signal in one end and it comes out the other end. Look at Glenn smiling there. I don't think Glenn believes it.
No, I don't. There's a trick here.
Glenn doesn't believe that. Okay. All right. Well,
There's a trick here.
Thanks, guys. And hey, if there's anybody else in the chat room who's got questions there for Jim, just shoot them out. And I don't know if Jim's in the chat room, but I'll see them. Glenn will see them, and we can relay them to Jim there.
Yeah. Now, Colin is saying that a grid square is 1 degree by 2 degrees, and it's 70 by 100 miles in the continental U.S. So there's a more accurate description. 6-digit grid is 2.5 minutes latitude by 5 minutes longitude, roughly 3 by 4 miles in the continental U.S.
When we've searched a 6-digit grid square for our balloon, and you think that's really getting down really close, 2 miles by 3 miles, but that is a big area, 2 miles.
Yeah, but that's why you went to what, the 9-digit grid square?
Well, I don't think we went to a grid square, but we did have what is it,
JT9.
JT9. We had a JT9 on there that took it down to like 50 feet.
Yeah,
and that's how we found one of our balloons. It landed on top of a school in Alabama, and we knew right where it was. They walked up there, and there it was. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Hey, I want to say hello to Tim, WB8HRO. I think he's still in here. Tim always gets in here. I see Brent in here, Brent.
Brent's coming to Huntsville.
WY7BG. We'll see him in about a week and a half in Huntsville. All right, guys. So, hey, we're going to talk about the coax here in just a minute. We're going to talk about the remote base that we're building based on the nanny cam and a few other things. So stand by. We'll be right back. Got cabin fever? Look no further. Spring is in the air, and ICOM has just what you're looking for. We have top quality base stations, mobiles, and handhelds that are perfect for working your favorite bands. ICOM's newest amateur FM transceiver is the IC V3500. With a compact body and simple interface, this radio is a must for those looking for a long-range mobile with a fresh look. The ICT-10 is a rugged portable that meets or exceeds standard military testing. With an IP67 waterproof rating, the ICT-10 can withstand any field activities ahead. Hear transmissions and listen to FM broadcasts with the loud 1500 milliwatt speaker. The IC7300 is a high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design that will far exceed your expectations. This innovative HF transceiver digitizes RF before various transceiver stages, reducing inherent noise in different IF stages. The IC7300 changes the way entry-level HF is designed. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. Okay. All right. So I probably need to just jump right into this next segment. Guys, coax is directional. Now, I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Let's see where it's coming from.
That's Jim's got a radio on in the background.
Oh, does he? Okay, well, that's fine. All right. Okay. All right. So, hey, guys, let me pull this. I'm going to share something here with you. I'm going to do a share screen. Now, I'll probably have the same trouble he does. Let's see. Data Park. Window. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. I'm not doing too good here. Let me see. And why am I not seeing everything? Let's see. Well, then I got a screen open here and I don't know how to close it. Let me look. All right, let me do this. Guys, bear with us. Bear with us. We're on a different system tonight. This is terrible. Then I brought up the sharing screen, and I don't know how to turn it off. I mean, the Talk Studio. Can't get out of it.
You should have the share icon on the bottom. You may be able to click that and then turn off sharing from that icon.
No, I don't. It's in the background. Let's see. Come on.
Well, in the meantime, let's see if I can
Why don't you talk to us about Day at the Park?
Well, I was going to show my screen here, see how well that works, just to help you troubleshoot. Let's make sure I've got the right screen. I've got so many screens. I've got too many screens. Matter of fact, I can't find the screen I want to use. So I'm like you. I've got too many screens.
Guys, this is awful.
Oh, darn it. I thought I had one just queued right up. I can see it on my screen, but I have too many screens for this this app. Let's try this. See if I can't kick into a slideshow and try it that way. Oh. No, that's not going to work. So let's try this again. Oh, here we go. All right, here's the share. Did that share?
I have no idea. I can't even see you guys now. That's how bad it is on this end. Hang on. Okay, wait. Let's see. Live stream. Okay, wait. Something's happening. Something's happening.
Well, it says I've started a share, but it's not showing.
Well, I wonder what Task Manager will let me do here. Let's see. Well, I don't want to close Google Chrome.
Because it says it's sharing the window. But it ain't sharing.
All right, I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to stand by. I'm getting out, and I'm going to come back in the show. I'm going to have to disconnect. I'll be right back.
That probably is going to kick us off too, isn't it?
You'll stay there. You'll stay there.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Where are you located, Glenn?
Oh, I'm just outside of Memphis. I'm in EM 44.
Ah, okay.
Okay, I am back. And Glenn's back. Okay. All right. I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to do a share screen. First of all, I'll make sure it's open. There it is. It's open. All right. I'm going to share screen. Glenn, I don't believe this. Are you there, Glenn? All right, I'm back. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to quit trying to share. Okay, I had an article from QST magazine that shows the coax cable and how it is directional. There's actually even a little arrow that's stamped on the coax cable that points a certain direction. Now, why can I not get that play? Oh well. I wish I could show this to you. Directional coax. And that was in, actually, that was in CQ. CQ of April 2023. It says here, there's little known fact that coaxial cable, such as RG8, 213, 214, and RG58, have more RF loss in one direction than the other. This is due to the twist direction of the inner conductor and the braid twist on the outer conductor. Says here, this phenomenon was discovered and documented by Professor Lurpa, SM9LL in Sweden. He came across this while doing basic research at the University of Stockholm. This science does not apply to hardline, in which inner and outer conductors are solid. Manufacturers of quality braided cable today print an arrow on the outer jacket of their cables, indicating which way the transmitted RF should go. There's a picture here of coax and a picture of the little arrow that's printed on there. You may not notice it because the arrow is very tiny. So what do you think about that, Glenn? What do you think, man? There we go. I got you.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, I'm sorry. So what do you think, Glenn?
I think I'm using cheap LMR 400 coaxes. Mine ain't got no arrow on it.
Well, has that got a solid center?
Yeah.
Well, see, this is twist. It's got to be twisted center.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Solid center's bidirectional cable.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. What edition was that? Was that like April?
Well, you know what? It was April.
Yeah, I figured it might be. Yeah.
It was April.
Yeah, I might have that in my files.
Now you got me thinking.
Oh, come on now. Come on. Seriously, Tom.
No, he showed
Look at that call sign.
He showed a picture.
Look at that call
sign. He showed a picture of the cable and it had the arrow on the cable. It's stamped in the cable. What is its call sign? Let me look him up again.
SM9LL.
Something doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right, did it?
SM9LL.
Yeah.
Smile.
Next thing you know, you're going to be talking to us about sunspot spray.
Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I think that may be an April Fool's deal. I don't know.
I have a feeling that it is.
I don't know.
I have never heard of a coax that's unidirectional. And in fact, when you build an SWR meter, you use 2 lengths of coax to create a bidirectional coupler or a directional coupler.
Do you?
Yeah. And like
Okay.
you say, if it's got a solid core, that whole theory goes out the window.
Yeah.
I was thinking at best it was maybe the way the braid on the outer conductor was woven, but that doesn't even make sense, especially when you're talking the hardline stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So Rich got you.
man, I kind of think
Rich got you.
I kind of think that might not be a real story now that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's an April Fool's story.
Gee whiz. I spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, turn your mic up a little bit. Your audio's down a little bit.
All right, let me. All right, I'm starting to get feedback here. Let me turn the volume down. Oh boy.
Oh, now you're feeding back bad.
Yeah. It seems like nothing. It seems like nothing's working.
Still got some feedback.
Yeah. Let me turn it down a little more. Seems like nothing's working here tonight.
There you go.
There we go. The mute works.
Now you're still echoing.
Something's wrong. Half the controls aren't working on here. So I don't know.
There you go. It's the app. I'm keep trying to tell you.
I think it's my laptop. This is, I bought that new laptop to run this on, and I just didn't get it out today to hook it up. All right. So since I am unable to share, man, that's part of the show tonight too.
Well, let's see if I can share here.
Yeah, try it and see.
Let me do something. It's going to take me a second.
I'll tell you what I think it is. I went in to make everything bigger on the computer, and everything is bigger now, and I think it's causing things to not show up, So I'm going to go back to make everything smaller.
Okay. I'm waiting for this to load because I actually closed it by accident. All right. Let's see. Let's try this and see if I can share.
Well,
I'm looking. Oh, yeah, it's the app. All right. I just hit share. Does it actually work?
Yeah. There it is.
Okay. Well, this is the beginning of the Huntsville Forum that I've got put together. I do have several slides put together on it.
Give away your secret.
Nah, there's no super secrets here.
Okay.
But this one is titled Building with Microcontrollers. And unlike my previous ones that have been strictly Arduino, we've broadened out into the microcontrollers in general, the Raspberry Pi Pico, the STM32, the ESP32, and things of that nature. And we're going to cover how you actually build projects similar to this with the microcontrollers. The tools, the techniques, all of the various things that you would need to build your own projects, to design them, to think them up, that kind of thing. And so we're going to cover the A to Z of actually building a project rather than talking specs and technology this time around.
Okay.
So, and we're going to start with all kinds of fun stuff. There's a schematic for that touch tone encoder we were talking about the other week.
Mm-hmm.
And, going to talk about soldering stations, development systems, and then, which microcontroller to choose. And there are several new ones, including the brand new Arduino Uno R4 and a couple of the others. And that's all I'm going to show at this point.
All right.
But
I
so
made everything.
that's,
I made everything smaller. I'm gonna try to share.
yeah.
Let me
Now
try
that's
again.
going to be Saturday at 10 a.m. in Forum Room 4. I'll get you a name for that room in a minute here.
All right. I'm gonna try to share here, Glenn. Let's see. Screen.
I had to exit
Oh,
and get
okay.
back in.
Okay. See, I had everything pumped up larger, and it wasn't showing, and it wouldn't let me scroll to the cancel button or the share button. I bumped everything back down to normal size, and I'm seeing it now. Let's see. Window. Okay, here we go. Now I can share. All right, guys, are you seeing that? Glenn, you see that?
Hang on, I've got that hidden behind here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There you go. Now look at this. Doesn't that look legitimate?
Yeah, except it says April 2023.
Yeah, it does. Man.
And that's not the Swedish. Oh, that's it. Professor Luf Lerpa,
Loop, loop,
SM9LL.
loop,
Yeah.
loop, Lurpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have caught on to that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And for my forum on Saturday, I start at 10 a.m. I'm in the Madison room over on the Embassy Suite side. And in that same room right behind me will be Bill Brown, WB8ELK, doing his balloon forum. So that's going to be a hopping room.
And Bill, I think we'll try to launch a balloon here too. Okay.
Yes,
hey,
he's going to be doing a balloon launch right afterwards.
While I got sharing working, let me see what I got here. Okay. Hey, guys, let me do this. Let me just do this. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. They're not in any order, so I'm just going to, we talked about, do I have a picture? We talked about a way to set up a very cheap single channel remote base. For instance, I've got a group of hams over in North Carolina where we have a home. And I want to talk to them on their local repeater. Now, the Echolink would be a nice way to hook it up, but they don't have Echolink and a couple things. So, we were brainstorming. We didn't want a computer that, on Tuesdays, it would take an update or reboot when the power goes on and off or different things. So I decided to try using an IP camera, one with two-way audio. There's a lot of them out there that have two-way audio. And here's one I ordered off the internet. It was about $20. It got pan, tilt, zoom, and it had two-way audio. So I'm thinking, okay. And the audio sounded pretty good. I tried the audio out and it sounded fairly good. So I thought, okay, this would be easy to interface to a radio. And hey, get you, probably many of you guys, if you're like me, I've got radios laying around and in a closet that aren't being used. But you could go out and probably buy you a Bofang for $23, Anyway, you can get you a little handy talkie or something like that, get you a nanny cam. And, we use a little Vox circuit to key the radio, and the two-way audio seemed like it was going to do pretty good. And you just go through the internet, and that's your connection. And you can see my phone down in the bottom left there. I call on CQ there. It goes through the internet, hits the nanny cam, and goes out the radio to the local repeater. And then down at the bottom under the radio, we were going to use a Wemo. That's just a little Wi-Fi switch you can buy to turn the power supply on and off. So I could remotely turn this thing on and off if I wanted to. So I got the camera, and they must have really small fingers when they build these things. Let's see. Let me go back. So I tore it apart. I want to see how the audio sounded first. So I tore it apart. I was able to unsnap the top piece there. and dig into it.
You do realize you voided the warranty.
Yeah, I did. There I am digging in a little bit more right there. And let's see. There we go there. I've added a couple audio jacks. I actually took the microphone out and I disconnected the speaker. So I put my two jacks on there for audio in and out. That's the camera I tried out. There it is, kind of. Let's see. I think that's before I put the jacks on it. There it is. They're having to dig down into it and to get to the microphone because the microphone was buried under all that stuff. So I was a little worried if I was going to get it put back together. But obviously, I must have done something when as I was piping audio in it. I don't know if I overdrove it or something, but it got very distorted. And the audio just messed up. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to buy another camera to experiment with. I think the concept here.
Put the mic back on and see if the audio corrects.
I
If
did.
so,
I put the mic back in, and it was still messed up. So something.
okay. So yeah, you probably blew something or overdrove it.
So the camera still works fine. The audio coming out of it works fine. It's just the mic in doesn't work. The pan, tilt, and zoom all works. So anyway, there's the camera. I thought, this is a pretty good idea. Power surge, power off on. It's not going to have to really reboot like a computer. These cameras always come right back on. So it was pretty simple approach there. This is just a typical Vox circuit that I'm going to build up. And it's using the 1458 chips. What's that? LM1458? Which
that'd be an LM1458 op amp.
Yeah, that's the same as an LM358. Either one, I think, will work here.
All op amps are pretty much the same.
Yeah. So basically, it just audio into it. You've got a mic amp there in the first stage, and then the second is a comparator, which compares the audio and tries not to pick up a lot of noise, but picks up the audio itself. And then you see that C2 right there. That sets your tail delay. So as the output of this hits that transistor, it turns on your push to talk. That little capacitor C2 will charge up, and it will give you like a 1 second, 2 second delay. You can adjust that for whatever delay you need. So I'll be building that up here. But the camera now, we're junking the camera idea. We're junking the camera idea right there. I thought it was a pretty neat idea at first. I thought for $20 for the camera, $20 for the radio, and no computer, I thought we'd be able to really have something nice. But as I blew that camera up, I was thinking, okay, there's got to be something better. And I was thinking, you know what? Nearly everybody in this day and age has old smartphones that they've retired.
Yeah.
And the smartphones, even though you don't have an AT&T or Verizon connection on them, the Wi-Fi still works on those phones.
That'd be good.
So,
and you can just usually have an audio jack on those.
That's right. So the Wi-Fi will work on any of your old retired phones. Skype will work, your email will work, everything works through it. It's just you can't make phone calls.
Right.
You got to go through a local Wi-Fi. You can't go through like Verizon LTE or 4G or any of that stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, and you know what? That camera, it probably had $3 worth of parts in it. I mean, I'm talking pretty low quality, guts inside. I would imagine most of your smartphones are $500, $800.
They're going to have a little bit better audio quality.
They're better. So I'm thinking, okay, why didn't I think of this before? Let's just take the phone and put a retired phone there. Same thing, audio in and out through the jack. It hooks to your local Wi-Fi there. And there I am down in the bottom. I use my phone and I call Skype. This time we run Skype though. and that's how we do the audio. And I already had Skype loaded on that phone. There's an option for Skype to auto answer. So you set that option for auto answer on that phone, and I call the address of that phone up. It connects, and man, now I have two-way audio to my radio. So that's what that's the next step we're going to be doing right there.
Now,
We'll build
Mark
up.
P is saying most radios have Vox built in.
Well, some radios do. I need to check. I've got a couple little Chinese radios. I think I've got like a in the closet a Wook.
Yeah, but you're also going to want that timeout timer, which probably will not be built into the radio.
Oh, I think some of the radios have a timeout built in them. I need to check on the Vox control. If it does have a Vox control, then we're set, man. We just turn it on Vox. So some radios might have it. Some, of course, are not going to have it. But this, I guarantee you right here, this will give you a good quality audio connection. And I played with it through the audio through the internet here. There's almost no delay on the Skype is very good about no delay. And I think it'll make a nice connection. Now, the thing about this is a single frequency only, because we're not incorporating any way to steer the frequency or anything like that. So
right.
If you got a local repeater there you want to talk to, you set your radio up for that local frequency. You put the right tone in, whatever, and you interface it there. So we're going to try this as soon as I can, and we're going to build the Vox circuit. I will look and see if that has a Vox circuit to see if it if it has it, we're already there.
Yeah.
All right. So that is another thing, and I clicked stop sharing.
Yeah, you've stopped sharing. You're showing my ugly mug.
Here we go.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So let me see what they said in the chat room here.
Well, Chuck's got a discussion on directional cables, but those are digital audio cables.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting discussion he brings up.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, shucks, man. I thought I brought something to light here on the show.
Yep. Now Mark just said just duct tape the phone to the Baofeng radio, no wires needed.
Hey, you know what? If it's Vox, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, it gets even easier. All right. Let's see. Let's see what he's saying here. Okay, let's see what else I had on my list for tonight.
All right. The day in the park.
Yeah, did you talk about that or not?
No, I have not.
All right, tell us where it is and when it is.
Okay. In Mississippi, on an annual basis, we have what is called Day in the Park. And one club or several clubs in a different area of the state puts on a day of for ham radio and hams to show up, get together, talk, have food, and have a swap area and stuff like that. So think of it as a quick, 1 day gathering kind of thing. And it's scattered around the state, a different location every year. And this year it's going to be at the Olive Branch City Park in Olive Branch. It's going to be put on by the Olive Branch Club and the Chickasaw Club in Hernando. The clubs have joined up for this. We did it in the past. We're going to have HF stations set up. Lunch is going to be served. That's free lunch is going to be served. We will have a DXCC card checker available. We'll have a tailgate swap area. We'll also have free entry for the door prizes. And last time we did this, we got several $1,000s worth of door prizes donated from all kinds of vendors. We had MFJ donating a 6-meter beam. No, they donated a cobweb. I'm sorry.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah, Heil donated a headset.
Hey, and you need a cobweb because yours tore up in ice storm.
No, I'm putting mine back together. It's easy
Okay.
to put back together.
Okay.
But we got a large number of prizes from the various vendors. Every vendor kicked in. And so we're going to have free entry for those door prizes. I think we had like 50 different door prizes last time around. We'll also have a drawing for a radio. This is usually a 2-meter or dual band mobile rig, and those will be $1 per ticket for that drawing. We'll also have VE testing, new license and upgrades on site. And this is going to be October 14th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. And I'm pretty sure that's a Saturday. I'll double check here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, and that will be at the Olive Branch City Park on Saturday, October 14th. And you have to be present to win the prizes. So if you go home, you lose. But we also have the talk-in on the Olive Branch repeater, 147-255. So y'all come on over. You don't have to be in Mississippi to come over. You any state, just come on down, have some fun.
What kind of food you having?
Last time we did a really big barbecue cook-up.
Yeah.
And it was outstanding. You showed up, didn't you? Or did you miss last year? Or the time we did it? No, it was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you made it that one. But yeah, we have several club members that are expert barbecuers, and they made us some wonderful pulled pork, and we had all the fixings and baked beans and the whole 9 yards, drinks, everything. So
cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. And, I hope you'll be there. I'm going to be there.
I'll try.
And, we'll try to get the whole gang there and, come on over and have some fun. But again, October 14th, and it's from 9 to 3. So y'all come on down, have some fun.
All right. Very good. I'm hearing myself. I got to turn it down. I don't know why I'm hearing my audio. I don't know why.
And Mark P is saying if your home router can do a VPN, then your cell phone could connect to your private home network.
Yeah.
So, but if you're using Skype, you don't need to even connect to your home network.
And you can even set Skype up where it can only take calls from
one person,
from a specific person.
Right.
It has a directory.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
All right. I want to talk about something else here, guys. Let me see. I don't look this thing. Here we go. I don't know. Oh, here we go. All right, guys. It's for me to tell you guys about this.
I keep meaning to do that.
Hadn't talked too much about it. This is the CAA 500 Mark II antenna analyzer. And if you guys go to our website to w5kub.com, we'll be on there streaming the Huntsville Hamfest in a week and a half. We'll actually stream Friday, the setup day, and we'll stream Saturday and Sunday, the show days. So one of the things we started doing the last couple of years is, although we're going to give away about 40 free prizes to our viewers, let me tell you real quick how that works. You just watch the Hamfest on our show, our live show during that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hambot is going to pick random names out of the chat room. And if he calls your name, you win the prize he's trying to give away. But you have to be there and you have to say, you got to hit, as long as you hit something, Hambot knows you're there. You can hit a period. You can say hello. You can say, hey, I'm here. Or you can hit ABC. As long as you hit something on a keyboard, Hambot knows that you're there, and he will recognize you're there and you won the prize if you claim it within the allocated time that Hambot counts down. Now, Hambot's going to count the time down. He's going to go down to 10 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you answer after Hambot says time's up, you can't argue with Hambot. He's a robot. You used to could argue with me and usually win, but now you can't argue with Hambot. we have a prize page set up on w5kub.com. There's a link at the top that says prizes. And at the top, we've set aside one prize, this CAA 500, not this one, but a brand new one. And it's a VHF UHF CAA 500 antenna analyzer. And it's a cross needle. It's also got a graphical interface here to read frequency. It'll plot your SWR and so forth. Goes up to 500 megahertz. This thing is built like a brick. It's an iron case or steel case, about the size of a brick, very heavy, almost indestructible, or maybe indestructible. I don't know what the word is. But we set this aside for people that would like to donate $5 to help cover some of the cost of our trip. Huntsville trip's not going to be really expensive, but just going here, it's going to cost about a minimum of $1,500 just to go put the webcast on for you guys. So that's a lot of money to go to a ham fest, $1,500. So what we're going to do is one prize, fundraiser only. For every $5 that you send in, we're going to put your name in a hat for a chance. $10 gets you 2, $20 gets you 4 chances and so forth. And I like to say, if you want to do 1,000, that'll get you. What's 1,000 divided by 5? 200. I can never do that, Glenn. Hey,
yeah, it's 200.
200. I'll throw in a couple extra. Anyway, so if you go to w5kub.com and go to the prize page, there's a link on there for donate, or you can just hit the donate button at the top. You do not have to be present to win. If we pick your name, we're gonna have comment, or we're gonna have NGC send one of these to you. We've had several winners over the last few years, and they've won these, and it's a very nice prize.
Yeah, I want it.
You don't have to be there to win.
That one.
This one. You don't have to say I'm here or anything like that. We're going to pull the name out on Sunday, the 20th, around noontime, Central Time, noon, and we're going to pick the winner, and we'll announce it on the show, and we'll try to contact you. Please try to leave an email or something. Sometimes we get a winner, and it's difficult to find the winner. So just want you guys to know about it, but there it is there. It's a nice, very nice, very, very nice. The CA 500 Mark II. And it's heavy. All right. And I will say this. There have been very few people that have donated this year. I don't know why it's down. Maybe because we didn't have a show last week and we just didn't announce it. But
we had a show last week. It was the week before.
Last week? Yeah, maybe the week before. So we just really hadn't been getting the word out too much. Now during the Saturday show, we'll probably mention it, and we'll have a lot more people watching. Maybe we'll get a few more people to donate for that. But
Tom Collins asking, is that going to be for everyone or only stateside?
Okay. This has got to go to a U.S. address. So, and it states that in our on our prize page. So if you've got a U.S. address, you're still okay.
Yeah, you can have it sent to a friend, and they can get it to you. But yeah, we can't
if you
ship
give us a
outside.
U.S. address, we can take care of it. But
shipping from the U.S. is just insane.
To ship this to Australia or Siberia or somewhere. I mean.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, unfortunately, I still don't know how China can get stuff here for $1 or even free shipping.
I know.
You try to go the opposite directions, and it's $75.
I know.
Don't understand.
Well, on our balloons, I've been buying balloons from a company in Japan that makes that special balloon. And I get, I think, 10 balloons for, I think it costs $250. $220, but that is $100 for shipping,
Wow.
and it's like $12 a balloon, but it's $100 for shipping.
Where's that coming from?
Comes from Japan.
Ah, okay.
But the balloons are about $12 a piece, so I ordered 10 of them, and so once you divide that out with the shipping, that makes the balloons cost somewhere around $20, $22.
Yeah.
Something
Still,
like that.
that's just a bunch for just a little
Yeah.
lightweight balloon.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, guys, like I say, not many people have put donations in, but I'm sure it's going to go up. But
I've got my note here that I need to make my donation.
all right, well, make it
So-
there, man, and
Well, it's-
don't
once-
try
once
to
I make
bribe
a-
while you're there. At Huntsville, don't try to bribe Hambot because it won't work.
Oh,
will not work.
well, I bought a whole case of WD-40 for him.
Did you?
Yeah.
A whole case?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that?
Figure he and I could just,
Oh, I got you. Well,
share
he's
a couple in the
Hambot
background.
has been oiled up. Hambot has been oiled, and let me see.
I'm just gonna
You guys,
I'm just kind of grease him up a little bit better.
yeah, if you guys want to know who Hambot is, let me see. I got Hambot here. Hambot, there's Hambot right there. Now he said, let's get some prizes, but normally, I mean, here's the message. All right, so Larry said he can't get to the page. I'm not sure why you can't get to the page, Larry. If you go to the menu where it says PayPal and click on it, do you get the menu, Larry? Are you even getting the W5KUB.com page?
Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, see if you can get it, Glenn. While you're there, just put $1,000 in.
Yeah. I'll give me your credit card and I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah, Mark says no video on the embedded video page, I think. And I checked it earlier on the YouTube dashboard, and I had embedded.
Click here to donate.
Thought I had embedded turned on. Let's see. Allow embedding. It's turned on. So
Yeah, I click here to donate and it takes me to the link. And I bet you if I click donate, it would want my money.
Well, it'll bring it up, and then you tell how much. But so you're getting there. Okay. Well, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will do mine tomorrow.
Hey, while you're there on the page, click the video over there on the left side and see if it comes up.
Hang on,
Mark P up in Ohio.
You mean your live video and chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got that up. I'm watching your live video
on the web page
from your web page. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the pop ad. I always have that up just so I know that, I can see how far the delay is. You're about 30-second delayed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Yeah. I think it's working. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it should be working here. And so let's see. I talked about the camera deal.
We've got just about everything.
Yeah, we're changing over from our camera deal to, how do I do this? Hide on stream. Heck, I can't even remember how to do it. There we go. Why did it work a minute ago? Oh, well. Okay, so, hey, we talked about the camera, the nanny cam thing. We're going to change that to the smartphone. Man, we talked about the coax, one-way coax deal. That was a bust.
Yeah. All you had to do is look down and see April, and it was like, yep.
Man.
You thought you had me.
Yeah. We did a day in the park. Oh, let's talk a minute about Huntsville. Let's just build up Huntsville here. We hadn't talked about that yet.
Well, we have a little bit, but can always talk more.
But did I say I'm excited about going?
No, not enough.
Not enough on this show,
You don't
right?
seem like you're really excited. No.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you. Mm-mm-mm. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, here's the plan for Huntsville. We're going down Thursday, so we can be first at the door on setup day. We're going to drive in the door on setup day, and we're going to set up our booth, get our networking all set up and all that. And we will have the stream up. It'll probably be 10 o'clock in the morning before we actually get stuff, because we got to run extension cords and Cat 5 cables, just all kinds of mess, So it might be 10 o'clock before we actually get the stream going. Now, no prizes on Friday, but we still may have some fun. You never know who's going to walk by. I mean,
Well, it won't be me.
Bob Howell may come by, or Ray Novak, or who knows who may come by. Gordon West sometimes drops by, so we may have some people there Friday. Some interesting.
Well, how late are you going to be there Friday?
On Friday, I'll probably stay in there at least till maybe 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Okay, there's a chance I can make it. I'm going over Friday morning, but I'm going to be at the Rocket Center about the time they open or thereabouts. I'll be there at about 11, and I'm going to spend the day at the Rocket Center and then head over to the Embassy Suites. So I probably won't get there until 3 or 4. But if I get there early, I will run over and say hi.
Well, I think we have some reservations. I do, and a few of the Memphis guys have reservations at I think it's the Rhythm, that new restaurant down at on the north, I guess is the north end of the hall there. We'll be having dinner there. So I try to stay there most all day. Kathy will be with me. She won't be there the whole time. She'll go to dinner with me, of course. But setup day is an interesting day. You get to talk to people. You get to see stuff. Last year, I even bought 3 brand new power strips on setup day.
Ah, cool.
You know why I bought them? We forgot to take our extension cords.
Oops.
So I couldn't even get the show on the road without finding somebody that's selling power strips. So.
Yep. Brett, there's a lot of good restaurants near the convention center. It's in downtown Huntsville. So you've got a lot of choices for restaurants.
I don't know. There may be something on the Huntsville, the Hamfest.org
there is.
website.
They have
food.
A list of the various food places.
They in the past, there has been some food trucks, I think, that come out up to the front door there. Maybe.
Yeah, and there will be a hospitality room from like 5 until 10, room 201 in the Embassy Suites.
The hospitality there, yeah.
So, and that's probably where I'm going to be hanging out Friday and Saturday.
I will be there. I mean, our hotel room is only going to be 3 or 4 doors down from the hospitality
Same as
room.
mine, yeah.
And that's straight down the hallway that goes to the Hamfest.
Right.
All on the same floor.
It's like right across from the elevators.
Hey guys, come up to the hospitality center, because they will feed you. There will be honey baked ham there. There will be soft drinks. There will be beer. There will be pretzels. There's all kinds of food that's going to be there.
Yeah. Now, Brett, there will not be convention center food Friday night. You have to go to either one of the restaurants there at the convention center, or down the street, or in Huntsville proper.
So are you talking about the hospitality?
No, he was talking about convention or food vendors. The concession.
I think I think maybe I may be wrong, and I should know this. I've been going down there for years. I think even Friday night they may have food in the hospitality.
Oh, they will have food in the hospitality room. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And
the Young Ham on the Air presentation will be Saturday. Usually that's right around noon or so on Saturday.
Yeah. Now there is a restaurant that just opened, a new one that opened up last year. They're in the lobby of the Embassy
Suites. Yeah, it used to be a Ruth's Chris.
But it used to be Ruth Chris, but it's not anymore. It went to a high class. Now you think Ruth Chris was high class?
Oh man,
this place, this new place, you got to have a reservation, go in here and sit down. hey, a
Are they
Coke
still
probably
going to
costs
do
you
the buffet
$5,
breakfast?
huh?
Do they still do the buffet
Oh
breakfast?
yeah. Now they have the free breakfast downstairs. That's not the restaurant though that I'm
Oh,
talking about. But that restaurant is very expensive and high end. There
is
in the
that the one
lobby.
that's downstairs?
Yeah, in the
Ooh,
lobby. Yeah, they took the place of Chris Ruth.
sounds like somebody's going to need to take me to McDonald's.
Well, there is a restaurant that opened 2 years ago. If you walk through the North Hall, just keep going down that hallway. There's a restaurant called the Rhythm. Nice big restaurant bar. It's in the convention center actually, but it's on the far north end. It's about a 20-minute walk. By the
Yeah.
time you walk down all the halls in that convention center to get there, it is a long ways down here. But that's where we'll be Friday night. We've got reservations and
Yeah. Now, Brett, there
yeah.
is good barbecue all over the place. You're in Alabama, for heaven's sake. Uh, but I would recommend going on their website, the Hamfest website, and looking at their restaurant list. There are several main streets not far away that has there's a barbecue joint on every street corner in Huntsville.
Yeah. The Young Ham of the Year will be about around noontime on Saturday,
Yeah.
and we've always webcasted that, so that will be on the Young Ham of the Year. And if you guys are members of our Facebook page, I think we posted about that on our Facebook page.
Yeah. Now, ARRL will also be there. It's my understanding that CEO Dave Minster will be there as well. Saw where him and David Norris said that they were getting together. So they will be at Huntsville as well, along with the ARRL folks. So you can get to meet with them as well.
The convention is not going to be serving food to the general public.
Not until Saturday.
Well, the convention.
They've got the concession stand.
Oh! I guess okay.
Hello.
I wasn't reading that right. I was thinking that as the Ham Fest.
No, the concession stand, but it is also cashless. They've gone cashless
now. That's right.
So
Well,
you're going to have Google Pay, Apple Pay, credit card, debit card, some form of, ethereal pay.
They one of the nice things about the Ham Fest, they do provide lunch for
Vendors.
For the vendors.
Yeah, and presenters. I get a lunch.
Yeah, and of course we get that. Now I don't think the flea market people will get it. It's just the vendors.
I don't believe so. It's strictly
it's going to be the
vendors
vendors.
And yeah,
people like they consider us, I guess, a vendor earlier. But anyway, we're part of that. So we'll get honey baked ham, and boy, it is good.
It's good.
And
yeah,
they've got in there they've got these big ice chests that are about, I'd say they're about 4 feet tall. They're about 5 feet long. They're about, I don't know, 4 feet deep.
And they are full of ice and full of drinks.
Ice and drinks. This will be full of Diet Coke. This will be full of regular Coke. This will be full of root beer. And again, that's in the restricted area for the vendors. So they really
we shoot you if you're not allowed.
They really take care of us. Yeah, they check your credentials to get past that curtain.
Yeah,
but,
we'll wrap you in directional coax and plug you into a wall.
But they will bring that honey baked ham each night to the hospitality center.
Hospitality room, yes.
Yeah. Now, Glenn and I, we have experience with that sticky honey baked ham stuff, man. That stuff is really sticky. That sauce you put on a honey baked ham. Man.
Oh man, it's good stuff.
That's what I like to put on my tickets. So when they stick the hand in there and they pull it out, 3 of my tickets are stuck to their hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. got to the site but could not donate.
I
Larry,
could
I
have.
don't know what's wrong, man. It would not let me. I can't. Mark said I can't get my $20 bill to stay in. I don't know what you're talking about. Brett, on a convention site, we're talking about not the Hamfest itself, but uh, there's a couple food places inside the flea market there, inside the Hamfest. This is a big civic center, and they've got a big the big steel roll-up doors, and it's actually they can serve you hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
maybe some other stuff. I don't know.
And Brett, on the Hamfest site, on under their page for let's see, the event info for the area visitor info, the very first link, Huntsville Convention and Visitors Bureau, will have a link that will let you see all the restaurants in the area, and you can go from there.
There's a flea market map, Brett. If you go to, well, I don't know how to tell you to get there, but if you go, I think it's under vendors. If you click on the vendors, and then over on the left-hand side, there's several different links. And one of those links is the vendor room floor plan. It's the floor
the
plan.
Hamfest layout. It's called the 2023 Hamfest layout.
Yeah. And you can click on that and you can see where everybody is. You're going to see we're up next to the stage.
Yep, you got your normal place.
Yeah, and then you'll see where the people like ICOM, Yazoo, MFJ, people like that. You'll see the
they've opened up that area in front of you this year.
Well, it's always been open.
Well, ARRL is now over on the side over near ICOM and HRO and MFJ. Gigaparts is all the way in the back of that room like they were last year.
Right. And out in front of us, typically there are chairs there in front of the stage.
Yeah, that whole area has been opened up this year.
But Brett and people in there, if you look up the floor plan, if you'll look closely down at the bottom edge, you'll see food vendor that's actually inside the Hamfest area. You don't even have to go outside the door to get hot dog, hamburger. Glen, they may have barbecue. I don't know what they have there.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. If you look up the Rhythm, RYTH, Rhythm.
Well, let me look here.
If you look up Rhythm restaurant in Huntsville, you'll see it's in the convention center. Rhythm. How do you spell Rhythm?
RYTHM.
Or Rhythm. RTHY. I don't know.
RYTHM, I believe.
Rhythm. I think it's called the Rhythm Restaurant.
Let's see if I can't find that in this little list.
Yeah. And it's probably not going to be on the Hamfest site, but
no, I'm on the Huntsville link.
Yeah, you can walk here and not even
local
go outside,
restaurants.
Now I think Brett said a different hotel, and
RHYTHM.
Brett says he's getting a 404. Okay, Brett, that page is not developed yet. That 404 page. Go to vendors.
I just gave him the link for the restaurants directly.
Oh, okay. I was just going to get him the floor map.
Oh, the floor map came up for me.
The floor plan. Well, there's a couple pages that hadn't been built yet called that they haven't built yet, and they do send out a 404.
There is a place called Rhythm on Monroe.
That's it. Yeah, that's a pretty
Serving locally sourced ingredients. Menu provides delicious urban fare to complement any afternoon. Craft brews, curated wine list, and handmade cocktails. Enjoy sitting near fire pits and watching the evening sun. A fire pit in the summer, I think we'll have to pass on that one.
Well, they turn the air conditioner really up real high, so that fireplace won't be too hot. But it's a really nice place, and
looks
again,
good.
you can walk to it if you want to walk through the convention center. It is a long walk. That is a big convention center. Big, big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hamfest layout comes up for me, so I don't know
All right.
why you're getting a 404.
Well, I think he's on a different page. There is a couple of 404 pages out there.
Yeah, there are a couple 404, but not that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah. So they're just getting that page built up.
Yeah, they just got the forums posted here this week.
Now, any good barbecue. Now, I don't know what. Let's see. Britain's out in Wyoming. Different parts of the country have different kind of barbecue, guys. For instance, I love the Memphis barbecue here. If I go to North Carolina, where our home is, North Carolina, I don't like the barbecue there. They got some kind of vinegar or something on it, or I mean, it's. I don't like it. It tastes different.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about Huntsville. I don't know if it'd be more traditional Memphis style or.
Well, having lived in Birmingham and gone to Huntsville a great deal,
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Memphis area type of barbecue.
Yeah.
The dry rub concept that hasn't existed in Alabama that I knew of. It was all, it's more like if you've ever been to Corky's, they're very similar to Corky's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's, but no, I mean, I had dinner at a barbecue place last year with some folks, and it was wonderful. So yeah,
Well,
I really enjoyed it.
Oh man, y'all making me hungry. I can't wait. That barbecue be good, real good right about now, man.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm getting excited about going. It's the cleanest, friendliest. Brett, you're gonna say it's the cleanest, friendliest ham fest in the country. And now,
I think
we're talking food. We're talking food now. I'm starting to.
Well, the big thing about it is it's all indoors. You do not have to go outside once you park your car.
Yep.
And for those of us that are staying at the Embassy Suites, they got underground parking. So once we pull up in there, we're done for the weekend. And you're in air conditioning, and it's always nice and cool. And you don't have to leave the grounds if you don't want to. It's one of the few ham fests that you get that luxury.
I posted a walk around video on our Facebook group from last year. There's some really nice, clean stuff there. I mean, everyone got.
The flea market is outstanding.
I mean, it's not just junk. There's one guy brings all this Collins stuff in here, the KWM2s and the separate receivers and the transmitter. That stuff looks brand new almost. And he has it stacked high.
That's always been my statement about Huntsville is they have the best junk around. Their swap tables are outstanding.
Yeah. Well,
Brett, everything in that area is a walk, or you can drive to some of the other areas in Huntsville. You're right near the main north-south drag. I can't remember what that street's name is. But you're right out next to the north-south main drag, and then there's an east-west, I think it's University. And you've got every restaurant known to man probably within about a 5-mile radius of the place.
Well, and Gigaparts are going to have a big booth set up too. Now, they don't bring a lot of stuff in like they used to.
No.
Now they've got a lot of, what do you call it, agents.
That what they do is they have stuff for demo. Yeah, and then you place your order, and they will shuttle it over to you.
Right.
And bring it to you.
They'll bring it over 2 or 3 times a day, I think.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah, you place your order there, and they'll drive it over.
They'll have it there.
If you're in town, you want to go by Gigaparts. Gigaparts
stop there as well. Yeah.
Go by and see them.
Yeah, they're not far.
All right. Well, look, we're getting close to time ending for our show here. Let me make a quick announcement, especially to all of our listeners out there on international shortwave radio, WBCQ on 7490 kilohertz. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the show. Uh, Many of us started off in our ham radio career as shortwave listeners, and we welcome you. Join our show live. You can come to our show on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, just by going to w5kub.com. And if you're listening to the show, you're listening to the show on Thursday afternoon. This show is rebroadcast every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on 7490. Join our Facebook group. We've got about 14,000 people in our Facebook group. Hit the subscribe button here for our YouTube channel. We really appreciate that. And that's about it, man. And we've got just about another minute or so.
Yeah, Colin said he got through the donate page, and he sent some money.
Yeah, okay.
So we know it does work. So those of you that can't get through, it's either a browser issue or a service provider issue, probably on your end.
Okay. Yeah, I used to be a shortwave listener.
I jumped straight into ham. Went from nobody into CW, one swell foop.
Yeah, well, at 16, I jumped into ham radio.
I was
but shortwave
15.
got me started. But, then after college, I went in the Air Force, and in the Air Force, I had a top secret crypto security clearance. And one day they come get me and pull me out of the vault and say, got a couple of questions. You ever talk to Russia? Have you ever got any mail? Yeah, and I used to get QSL cards from Radio Havana, Cuba, Radio Moscow, and somehow they caught on to all this. And they were asking me, now, you got mail from Russia? You got mail from Cuba? So I explained it to him. I was out. My clearance was probably taken away for like 2 days or something, but they gave it back to me. But man, it got me in trouble. Yeah.
Well, you're talking all those foreign stations.
Yeah. Oh man. I think my first shortwave radio was a great big Zenith. It was one of those big console models. It was about 4.5 foot tall. It's about 4 feet wide. Had the big round dial in the middle there. I wish I still had that thing. And it had shortwave band on it, and of course AM on it. And man, you could really pick some stuff up with that thing. I don't even know whatever happened to that. Man, isn't it funny how stuff like that disappears over your life, man?
I wish I had kept my original HW16. Fortunately, I was able to pick one up a couple years back. So I've got the rig that was my novice rig, just not the exact rig.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I'm going to say good night to everybody out there. We made the show work tonight, even though the computer had blown up. I probably had many hours of work trying to figure out how to put all this back together. Because if you saw how many cables are laying on the floor right now, the thing about this app that Glenn and I are using, it does almost everything on one computer, and but it has limits. And man, I've got so many audio cables in and out to each of the different PCs and USB converters and HDMI to USB converters. And oh man, I got so much stuff connected between these guys that I may never get it put back together. Good night, everybody. Enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
We'll see you next week. And hey, I'd be interested. Anybody in the chat room have any ideas? Should we keep the show going, or should we just go ahead and cancel it and take it easy and retire after 10 years? I'm considering it. Yeah, I'm considering it. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Let's see.